Hello. Check, check. Sound check. Light check. Bed hair check. Braces check. Uh, let's see. How is the sound? If anybody can hear, let me text my crew that I'm on. Let's see. This will just take a sec. Thank you for your patience. How is everyone or anyone? How's your weekend been? It is Sunday, the 19th of April. It's just 9:21 in the evening. Sunday nights are always, I don't know, a little stressful maybe because you're getting ready for the work week. Let's see, just a couple more here to send out. I don't want to miss anybody that doesn't want me to miss them. And oh, who's here? Let's see. I know it's not this one because I'm just sending the text now. I think that's it. So I just have a handful of people that like me to text them when I'm coming on live. And if you would like to be added to that list, please feel free to email me at JusticeAtooZ@gmail.com. Send me your digits and I'll put you on the text list, and then you'll have my digits and we can text to each other as well. It can be lots of fun. I really enjoy texting with my mods. I get a lot out of it and I appreciate your viewership. Ara, what's up? Did you do another live? And Anna Bees, my friends are here. I love you guys. You're the best. So Ara did a live, what was that, the night before last that I caught? And then I'm not sure if you've done one since then, but I caught it right after you finished. I was like one of the first people on the replay crew. I think it had just finished streaming like 15 minutes before I watched it. And I loved it. It's so awesome to see you back at it, girl. You did last night too? Okay, I'll catch that one on the replay as well. Okay, well, let me just check real quick, see if I've caught them. And you said you have a new channel. Have you set that channel up yet? Because I would love for you to put the link here and advertise for yourself shamelessly, please. It's always been really challenging for me, you guys, to find Ara's videos, even though I'm subscribed. It is definitely part of the shadow banning. And I always say, take it as an extreme compliment, because they wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't, if you weren't a threat, in my opinion. So yeah, it doesn't look like you've done a live since the one I caught. So I'm glad I didn't miss another one. If you feel like texting me when you go live, I would love it so that I can be sure to try to be there. That would be awesome. Hi, it's me. Hi, Jazz and everyone here. Look, I have my little clicker, and let's see if I can pin that message. And yeah, I saw you were there, Anna Bees. You caught Ara's live, right? Isn't it so cool to hear her back at it? Like, that girl just kicked some butt, some booty. Seriously, girl, your voice is so unique and we love it. I know I'm not the only one. I'm looking around for a white bee for my eyeglasses. One sec. I got it right here. I am so lucky to have a studio. I mean, I'm so lucky. I have two studios. I have this as my little live stream studio, and then I also have my yoga studio. I feel so spoiled sometimes, but man, I've worked hard for them, and I just really appreciate it every day. It's nice because I have all my stuff like consolidated in two places. And you know how hard it is to keep your stuff all in order, to stay organized, and, you know, to have your little eyeglass cleaners handy when you need them. They're not like in the back of the house. They're just like right there. I mean, it'd be nice if I had them more within reaching distance. I can fix that. So let's see. Replace pinned message. And it felt so wrong. Oh, doing your live. I used to feel like every time I made a video, this was like for the first year that I was doing it, I always felt like, oh, that was a terrible video. I'm definitely going to have to delete that one. And then I would watch it and I'd be like, why was I thinking that? It seems fine. And yeah. So it might just be part of the creative process, you know, like, I don't know, kind of like stage fright for actors. Thespians always have stage fright. I did not know that until I had my first dabble with theater in college. It's pretty wild experience. It's like your brain just goes blank and you have no idea what you're supposed to say. This was how it felt for me the first time I was in a production. I had no idea what my line was, but each word came out of my mouth right when I needed it to. And I was scared to death because I'd never done it before and I didn't know that it was going to keep occurring that the right word would come out of my mouth. And when I got off the stage, I was just completely flipping out. I was just like, oh my God, that's the most frightening thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I told this peer of mine what it was like. She was one of the stagehands. And she was like, yeah, that's acting. That's just how it is. Your brain goes blank. Each word comes to you as you need it. And you get an adrenaline rush. And that's like on a good night, right? Like sometimes the words don't come and then what? You have to improv or something. And sometimes it works out fabulous even with that, because you can have a long pause and people think you're doing it for theatrical effect. I had that happen once. I totally forgot my line and I just like paced the room and it completely hit home the full effect. It was hilarious. I completely I did a round of the stage, like a solid 360, just paced around it. Thinking, what the hell am I going to do? I don't know my next line. And then all of a sudden it came to me. And then people were just floored at the end of the performance. They were like, that was so intense. You added that part. The good old days to be young again, right? Let's see, let me get caught up. I haven't gone live in forever and it's so weird. I know. I think a lot of us have that kind of experience like almost every time. Like I kind of get a high off of it. But yeah, I get a little nervous and let's see. Anna B says I couldn't shut up in the live. And then Kelly had a really good live was that last night? Was it last night or the night before? I can't even remember now. It's all a blur. It was really good. It was last night that Kelly did a live, and then she did one 2 nights before that. But the one last night was on NK. It was on the 111-minute phone call. And yeah, it was really good. Were you guys there? I don't remember because honestly, I was doing my yoga routine while I was listening to the live. So I was like getting 2 things accomplished at once. It's nice when I'm able to do that and actually able to focus on both, because you do need to focus to do your yoga and you also need to focus to pay attention to a live. But then you can't really comment. That's the one drawback. I will text you for sure. Oh, thank you, dear. Anna Bees, you're so sweet. Aris says to Anna Bees, you guys are the bomb. So, I was thinking how cool it is to have like a revival of the old Kylie Rodney crew and how we can honor Kylie Rodney and how we can further her cause. I mean, any thoughts, my friends? Yes, I was there. Anna B says, I couldn't shut up in ours. I know, it's so exciting to have her back. because she is such a raw and honest voice of truth. Here, let me see what I missed. Anything? Brianna Knauss, that's correct. Salty Sage, hello. Brianna Knauss, or Brina Knauss, yeah. So all of the photographs in my thumbnail, except the last two, are of somebody on the internet named Brina Knauss, who is a DJ. And, the rumor is that that is Melania's child that she gave birth to when she was 15 years old, and that little E is the biological father. And I don't know if that's complete bogus internet slop or not. I think it's important to keep an open mind that it could be true, and to keep an open mind that it could be completely false. But I thought we should talk about it. So, Salty Sage, it seems like it's been a million bazillion years. How are you? I remember you from way back, my dear. Anna Bees, what do you mean you couldn't shut up, LOL? I kept typing. I know that's how I get a lot of times in chat. I just get really excited and I have a lot to say. And then I try to cool my jets because I don't want to be, annoying. And I know that I can be if I'm hijacking somebody's chat. I definitely don't want to do that at all. So then I just try to put a sock in it, do my yoga. I can't talk publicly. I have severe stage fright. Anna Bees, that's how I thought I was too. I always love to talk about a little statistic that I learned in graduate school. It's my favorite, that public speaking is the one thing that people fear, statistically, that people fear more than death itself. And we can all vouch for that being true, right? Every single one of us. But, that's what makes it exciting too. I say that right now as I'm getting severe stage fright. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not getting severe stage fright, but it's like you just get in this zone and, you either sink or swim. And sometimes you feel like you're sinking when you're swimming, and sometimes you feel like you're swimming when you're sinking. And that's one of the things I love about it, is that it really brings me down to earth. I just have to accept myself, warts and all. If I do well, great. If I don't do well, so be it. It just is what it is. And I appreciate you guys for being here and accepting me, warts and all too. So thank you. And I'll do all of my spiel in just a second. I'm going to try to get caught up. So being a lawyer was out of the question. Oh, you're so funny, Anna Bees. Although that'd be a trial lawyer. I mean, there's tons of lawyers that don't speak publicly. But yeah, if you're a leadership role, in law enforcement, that's your main job, is to be a public speaker. A lot of people don't realize that with sheriffs and police chiefs. They don't do law so much as just PR. They're just puppets, basically, usually. And you missed it. Oh, let's see. What's the obsession? Hey, girlfriend, what is going on? How are you, my dear? That's the rumor. Yeah, the thing about Melania's daughter. Do you have an idea if it's true or not? I mean, the images of this person online, if you look up Brina Knauss, they look an awful lot like Melania, and you can see a peppering of a little E in there too. But that could be, it could be AI. There might not even be a Brina Knauss. She's a pretty famous DJ in some European bloc countries or something. I do not know. The timeline seems to add up. Yeah, and then, all this stuff with Amanda Ungaro is really interesting too. I mean, that really adds up. Um, that definitely seems solid. And glad I made it to the live. Hello, chat. So glad you made it. And thank you so much for that amazing live that you did last night. Like, I seriously feel like there needs to be some kind of petition to get the Watts case reopened and get NK investigated. Seriously. Hey, if you find your live, wasn't that just this last year of 2025, like July 3rd? It was at NK's 36th birthday, I think. If you find that live stream and put a link to it in the chat right now, that would be awesome if you wanted to do that. No pressure if you don't want to do it, if you're busy or just don't feel like it or what have you. That's what I felt like too, like I was talking over the chat. Kelly, glad you made it. Can't wait to see your Epstein video. You mean her Einstein video? I know. She puts amazing videos together. Kelly is like an entire production team in one single mother with a full-time job. I mean, on top of her channel, she's just like some kind of genius whiz kid. Seriously. What does that say? Tea tree oil, salty sage. What's up with the tea tree oil? I love the tea tree oil. That is the best. Are you asking me that? I'm sorry, I was talking to my son. These days, nothing surprises me, honestly. Ashley Robinson as well. Tragic. I don't know who Ashley Robinson is, unless you mean Ashley Smith Flynn, but I'm going to guess that you're talking about someone else. But that reminds me that there is a case that I've been wanting to look into again, which is an old case that is back in the news because there's finally some justice on the Sandra Birchmore case. She's the young woman outside of Boston. I think she was 23 when her disgusting police officer boyfriend unalived her, allegedly, because he's in jail for it now and he's going to trial. Matthew, and he had a brother, an identical twin brother. What was his name? Sandra Birchmore. You guys remember? I haven't talked about her case in so long, and I was thinking about her a few days ago, and then I looked her up and saw that it was back in the news. So, I don't know that I've seen this Dateline episode from September of 2025 called The Betrayal of Sandra Birchmore, about the 2021 death of Sandra Birchmore in Canton, Massachusetts. So it involves some of the same police officers from the Karen Reed case. And both of those overlap with the 25-year-old police officer, the young man that was unalived due to a training incident right near Canton, Massachusetts. But I want to find out the last name of that Matthew that is in jail and is getting tried. Let's see. Matthew. Is it Bowling? No, that's not it. Matthew Farwell, Farwell. So Stoughton, a former Stoughton police officer, Matthew Farwell, who has an identical twin who also abused Poor Sandra Birchmore. She started as a volunteer, what do they call it? It's like when they're in training, police officer, kid training. There's a cute little name for it. What is it? What do they call that? Police officer training for kids. There's a really good name for it. Why is it not coming up? Not cadet. Explorer. That's what it is. Police explorer. Okay. Yes, I remember Sandra Birchmore. I know she deserves justice, and it seems that justice will be complete eventually. I mean, it's been 5 years since she passed away, and it took a long time for her family to get the case to be examined as not a self-unaliving. You spoke of warts. Tea tree oil, I believe, helps dispel. Ashley is an influencer, very successful, died at Zanzibar in Tanzania on vacation with boyfriend after he allegedly proposed. They're calling it self. Was this recently, Ashley Robinson? So you guys, did you wake up to see the news about this father that unalived 7 of his own children this morning at 3 different residences in Louisiana? And there's an 8th child that was deceased too. Son of a bitch, man. I think the kids were ages 1 to 12 or something like that. Absolutely a nightmare. So I'm just looking up at Ashley Robinson real quick to see how long ago that was. Did this just happen? 3 days ago? Holy crap. Wow. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. She's gorgeous. Look at this young woman. For anybody who hasn't seen her yet. I mean, that's her like profile picture, so it's all dolled up. It's still, is there like a Wikipedia for her? Let's see. Ashley Robinson Wikipedia. So she was 43 years old, born August 12th, 82. Wait, no, this is a professional basketball player. Sorry. Ashley Robinson. Ashley Denise Robinson. Wikipedia. Yeah, not to be confused with the 6'4" professional basketball player. She is so cute. Sorry, I just want to find out when this happened and how old she was. You guys can probably answer me that. This is so annoying. Ashley Denise Robinson, YouTuber, 4 days ago. Joseph McCann was questioned after his partner was found deceased in her room. Was she from Philadelphia? The family of content creator Ashley Robinson, known online as Ashley Janae, seeks answers after she died during a birthday trip to Zanzibar, Tanzania. On April 12th, her family members who have ties to Philly took to Instagram to share a statement regarding her passing. And she just celebrated her birthday on April 5th, turning 31. Okay, that answers the questions that I was after. Thank you for that information. Yeah, tea tree oil's the best. I love tea tree oil. Just the smell of it. It's good for everything. Deleted, but it doesn't add up. Yeah. 31 years old. No, why would she do that? I mean, it definitely doesn't add up. And if you're going to commit a crime, it can sometimes be very beneficial to do it out of the country. Like Amanda Knox, for instance. I mean, that ultimately went very well for her, in my opinion. That woman that was vacationing in Mexico with friends that did not come back alive. You guys remember that? That happened like 3 years ago. Let's see. Woman from Georgia who vacationed in Mexico with her friends and died, 25 years old. Shanika. Shan. Her name is so hard for me to say. Shankella. Shanquella. Shankella Robinson. So she was from North Carolina, not Georgia, and passed away in Cabo San Lucas, October 29th, 2022, after arriving with 6 friends. So, yeah, that was right after the Kylie Rodney tragedy. So I remember covering that because I was not really wanting to cover cases other than Kylie Rodney. I wasn't expecting to ever discuss another case other than Kylie. But, I didn't know what I was getting into starting a channel. I didn't think that Kylie's case would ever get resolved, and so I didn't see an end to discussing it either. And I feel the same way, basically. But I think it is very worthwhile to discuss a lot of other cases for a lot of reasons, obviously. Ashley Robinson is her real name. Ashley Janae is her influencer name. Canton cops have a bad reputation. Well, Anna Bees, so many cops have been doing crap like this, like these Boston police officers. They're outside of Boston, like southwest. And I actually know that area. I've been around there a little bit, not for decades, but Boston is just very old school, very tough guy, very Irish, very alcohol fueled, basically. I mean, that's a stereotype, but anybody who's from Boston can validate all of that. But unfortunately, I mean, that's kind of just a microcosm of our entire country right there too, right? And sadly, corruption in law enforcement is not rare at all, unfortunately. I wish it were. It's unfortunate, and it is a lot of the problem in a lot of the cases that I personally am drawn to. That's why I focus in on the cases that I do, including Kylie Rodney's, is because of the corruption, the law enforcement corruption. And people have been getting away with too much for too long, just like the politics in Washington, D.C. None of this crap is new. And, if we're going to be talking about little e and the transporting and the importing of minors, that quickly translates into the kind of SMEX abuse that's been happening in Washington, D.C. with politicians and their concubines or whatever you want to call them, victims, that's been going on for as long as politics has been going on. And fatalities has always been a part of it. And, just to jump straight into a crazy conspiracy theory, with Chandra Levy's investigation when she was a missing person back in 2001, and Gary Condit was in the hot seat, and then 9/11 happened. And it wasn't until sometime this last year that I always thought how lucky Gary Condit was that everybody was distracted by 9/11, that they were no longer focused on his scandal with Chandra Levy. But it wasn't until this last year that I thought, what if 9/11 was a big conspiracy that was designed to distract from the Chandra Levy case? And I thought it was a complete stretch when I first thought of it. But then I started exploring and entertaining the idea of that conspiracy. Not that it would be designed to protect Gary Condit, but that it could be designed to protect all of the politicians in DC and all of the girlfriends or victims that have been taken advantage of and discarded fatally. And, there's a lot of those types of individuals in Washington, D.C. that have been missing persons. That's been going on for decades, absolute decades. And I always like to bring up Monica Lewinsky, because a lot of people don't realize that when she saved that navy blue dress that had Clinton's DNA on it, she didn't save it because she was obsessed with him and wanted to keep a souvenir of their affair. She saved it as evidence in case she was ever one of these missing people. And she gave it to Linda Tripp for that purpose. And then when she gave the evidence to Linda Tripp, she told her that's why she was giving it to her. So now, where things have gotten with the little e-files, the Trumpstein files, people are talking about the whole transporting machine and how it starts sometimes with these orphanages, like in Romania, like where Erica Kirk started as a teenager with her little Romanian angels. And these orphanages service servicemen, and these victims get abused. And then as they get older, they get imported to the United States and circulated through places like the island, the ranch, the, what would you call that? Multi-million-dollar home that Epstein lived in Manhattan, that Les Wex gave to him, that $70 million gift. Or like the pink Florida White House that is named after the sun and a lake or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. So that whole system where teenagers get transported for entertainment purposes. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. And all my videos are made for the tube of you and me, and it's an infotainment platform. So I know I'm just kind of swimming all over the universe with this, but getting back on track and nailing it down. So as these victims graduate and get older from the orphanage to the entertainment circuit, sorry for the, I'm not trying to be dismissive. I'm just trying to speak in code. And then sometimes they become models, sometimes, not often. They might end up on the pages of Victoria's Secret catalog or something like that, or even newspaper ads for J.C. Penney's and Sears and Montgomery Ward's and stuff like that. And all of those things, you guys, this is going to sound like the craziest conspiracy theory ever if you haven't heard this, but all of those things were used as catalogs allegedly for people to look at the Victoria's Secret catalog and order who and what they wanted. Who, what, where, when, why, how, like allegedly. So then sometimes they would go into the whole pageantry. That was also an element of the whole transporting system. And then it just goes on and on and on. I'll stop there because it just gets darker from there, a lot darker. And I want to stay caught up with you guys. Let's see. Anna Bees, I hope she gets her justice. She was gorgeous very recently. Oh, it's so crazy. Yeah, just 3-4 days ago. It's just nuts. I hope so too, Salty Sage. Yes, Tragedy Beach, 8 children, heartbreaking. I know, waking up to that was absolutely just god awful. That was the first thing I saw when I looked at the news this morning. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Her given name and influencer name aren't identical. He's mid-40s. Oh, the boyfriend is mid-40s. She had many things lined up when she returned home. From what I've learned, Shankila, yeah, she was gorgeous too. And she paid for all those friends to take that vacation, and then they beat the crap out of her. That was gross. And I don't think they've gotten any justice for her. Again, because of the complication of being out of the country. Horrid friends, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember that. Her friends all took her away from this world. Well, it just goes to show my mom is always right with her no good deed goes unpunished. Shankela, if I'm saying her name right, paid for her friends to go on vacation, and this was what happened as soon as they got there on day one. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here, let me get, make sure I get all of these. Jealousy, in my opinion, Demon, she was another bright light. Exactly. She was kind of like Shanann Watts. Like, she was really successful from a young age. And yeah, I think a lot of jealousy. It's been going on since the beginning of time as we know it. Yeah, you're talking about the politician crap. Sorry, I have trouble with the cursor. It just like goes too fast with the scrolling through these. I don't want to get caught up. I don't want to miss any. Let's see. I think right here, another term for not fake, in my opinion, is real. Yeah, Israel is a huge part of the system that I was mentioning, and the country that starts with the letter R too, big time. But yeah, in the country that's real, I think the age of consent is 13, if there even is an age of consent. Like, they have no problem with the whole PDF thing there. It's heinous, if you catch my drift. Little E had a painting of Willie in a blue dress. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Little E had an original piece of artwork of Bubba in a blue dress with red stiletto heels, lounging in a overstuffed chair. If that is Bubba, I don't know, but I think that's one of the nicknames he went by. Little E had connections that possibly others didn't. With knowing all that he knew, he probably is still out there, probably in not real, just saying. If he is still of this earth, that probably would be where he would be protected by BB. BB was one of his clients. I mean, BB has been the prime minister of the country that is not real, off and on for, I think, stretching over 3 decades. I think that his position of prime minister totals up to 19 years, but he's always been on the list, as the other prime ministers for that country have been too. And same with the Daddy Vladdy. He's that Pete weirdo, Keg's Breath or something else. Palm Beach Pete. Oh yeah, that guy. That would be great if he was just hiding in plain sight, like got some plastic surgery so he doesn't look exactly like himself. That wouldn't surprise me. Although my opinion is that he was offed. That people were very angry with him and worried. I don't know. I haven't heard of Pete. So Pete is just like some weird guy that lives in the Miami area who looks a lot like Little E and likes to drive around in his convertible and have people look at him and stuff. And I think he's been doing like the talk show circuit or the podcast circuit, just getting his 15 minutes of fame. But wouldn't that be nuts if it was actually him hiding in plain sight? I mean, truth is always stranger than fiction. You just can't make this stuff up. Worth the rabbit hole, in my opinion. Same teeth, same stutter, hair, more. I haven't heard him talk. Salty Sage. Have you heard him talk on some of these podcasts? Does he have that Little E lisp too? I mean, I'm one to talk. I've got quite a lisp with my braces and the wax in my teeth and everything. I will definitely do that. Salty Sage, thank you. Stutter, like the quill of a pen. Shanquilla, thank you, my dear. That's awesome. Shanquilla. It sounds much better when you say it right. And it's such a cool name. I don't like it that I have so much problems with people's names. I have trouble with the English language, to be completely honest. I mean, I do. I have trouble with a lot of words. So that's one of my Achilles heels that I've been challenged by my entire life, but especially with names. So thank you for helping me with that. Anna Bees does a great job helping me out with that too. Like my sister, you're like my internet sister. My sister's actually a language arts teacher, which let me tell you, one of the best, funniest things that ever happened to her. She ran into one of her old students and he yelled out to her in the parking lot of a gas station. He said, "Hey, ain't you used to be my teacher?" Ain't you used to be my teacher? And she, as much as she loved him and thought it was adorable, she was mortified because, yeah, she was his language arts teacher. Ain't you used to be my teacher? That's one of my favorite stories. Oh, this is a good tea. I thought it was weird at first. It's like vitamin C flavored tea. It's a new Celestial Seasonings. But it's nice. It's got like a very faint lemon orange kind of thing going on. And I have to confess, I have half and half and honey in it, and it's actually really good. That's interesting. Hubba Bubba. LOL. Hey, Ara. Yes, ma'am. The FS. Letter F stutter. LOL. Yeah, you like that story. Hey, ain't you used to be my teacher? I love it. I absolutely love it. So I haven't even looked at my notes yet. Let me crack open my book, because the first thing that I want to talk about, I wanted to catch you up with the law court cases from Thursday. There were hearings in both the Tepe case in Columbus that I went to, but it was kind of anticlimactic. I'll tell you about that. And then the one in Miami County for the Tip City homicide of Ashley Smith, formerly Ashley Flynn. That one got rescheduled for this coming week. So the Ashley Smith hearing that was scheduled for Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon, I had gone to the one in Columbus for the Tepe case that was scheduled for 9 o'clock, and I was hoping to make it to both, but I was glad when I found out that the Ashley Smith one was rescheduled, so I didn't have to try to make it to both, that I wouldn't be missing it. So I was there in the Columbus courthouse, but they didn't have the hearing in the courtroom. They had the hearing behind closed doors with the judge. And I'll tell you why, in my opinion, after I ask you to please hit your like button if you'd be so kind, and make sure you're still subscribed and all that jazz. Share a video mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. Turn on your notification bell to ring. So, do you guys know, with the Barry Morphew case in Colorado, Suzanne Morphew case, I like to say the names of the victims rather than the alleged perpetrators. The Suzanne Morphew case, she was disappeared in 2020, Mother's Day of 2020. So we're coming up on 6 years. Her husband, Barry Morphew, has been arrested twice for her homicide, and he has not been tried yet. And they will not allow cameras in the courtroom, apparently because that douchebag JLR, Jonathan Lee Riches, was live streaming one of the hearings when the judge had explicitly forbid it. And so he pretty much ruined that court case, not just for YouTubers, but even for the news stations. So, now he's in the news for having domestic violence assaults on his ex-girlfriend. Magnolia was her handle. She would do a lot of live streams with him. Jamie is her real name. I forget her last name, but anyway, most of us know her as Magnolia. So JLR ruined that Morphew case for not just podcasters, but for regular news media as well. And I'm thinking that another YouTuber that lives in Columbus might be responsible for the same thing in the Tepe case, because she was so rabid about the Tepe case. And I understand the passion, but I said it with JLR before we found out about his domestic violence allegations. These people need to get a hold of themselves and get their lives in order. Being a YouTuber is great. Being a successful YouTuber like JLR, it's fantastic. But it's more important to be a good person and to be a healthy person, in my opinion. And it's hard to do both. And I don't think you should sacrifice one for the other. That's just my opinion. But this other YouTuber that lives in Columbus, and you guys know who I'm talking about, we'll just say TNT and leave it at that. She was so rabid over the Tepe case. I think that she has destroyed the public's ability to have access to see what's going on with the case. I think that that's why they did the hearing behind closed doors in judges' chambers on Thursday. And the news media was there in the courtroom, as was I, as was another YouTuber, Titanium Built, Tanya with Titanium Built. And then there was a blogger that was there who has been through domestic violence herself, and so she likes to blog about it. It's very current for her because I think she's still got an ongoing court case. And none of us were able to know anything. It all happened behind closed doors. And it seems as though that's how they're going to be trying to do the majority of that case with the defendant, Michael McKee. The what type of surgeon is he? Orthopedic surgeon? Not orthopedic. Let's see. Michael. Yeah?
Do you have a vitamin E thing?
I don't, hon.
Uh-oh. Do we need more?
It's probably in the kitchen.
Okay.
My daughter, my sweet daughter. McKee surgeon. Vascular surgeon, that's what type he is. And my voice to text is working again, so that's exciting. So Michael McKee, the vascular surgeon, the ex-husband of Monique Tepe, who is being held with, I think it's like $5 million bail. So he's still in jail and being held until the trial, which I think pre-trial is set to start June 17th now. And he allegedly not only took the life of his ex-wife, Monique Tepe, but also her husband of 5 years, Spencer Tepe, who is a dentist, with their 2 children in the next room. And they had a dog also, I think, in the room with the 2 kids. And then it was the night before New Year's. It was the not the night before New Year's, but the day before New Year's. It was in the morning. I want to say it was like a Tuesday at like around 3 a.m. It was December 30th. So it was the day before New Year's Eve. And it only took them 10 days to arrest him. And I think it's understandable that they want to keep the case behind closed doors given the situation. So I think it's really unfortunate. You know, the public has a right to know. I think it's really important for domestic violence to be talked about, to be put front and center. So much violence in our culture is domestic violence. I mean, the children that were unalive today in Louisiana by their father. So many dangerous criminals are domestic violence perpetrators. And to me, it's an act of terrorism. I mean, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, you live in sheer terror. And it's also misogynistic. It's usually men perpetrating against women. I feel like it should be treated as a hate crime. I feel like the punishment for domestic violence is not severe enough, and that's a huge part of the problem. It's just not taken seriously enough. And when the more light that's shed on these cases, the better for the safety of our society. And it's not just the women that are victims of domestic violence, law enforcement, the police themselves are some of the biggest victims of domestic violence statistically. Like, the two most dangerous things for police to do that are fatal are traffic stops, and that can be just from people driving badly and not giving enough space for the law officer to be pulling somebody over, but also that when they pull somebody over, that somebody can be a wild card and they might think it's a routine traffic stop, and there's no such thing as a routine traffic stop. So that's the most dangerous thing for law enforcement to do, and that's something that they do every day. But the other super dangerous and highly fatal call for law enforcement is domestic violence calls, because domestic violence perpetrators are like wild animals, and you do not want to be anywhere near their wrath, because you will come in their line of fire no matter who you are. It's bad. It's really bad. I knew it was something very specialized. Neuro Annabise says, yeah, the vascular surgeon. I know it had been a while. I'd forgotten what it was. So yeah, that's the thing with JLR and somebody in Columbus that might have fouled up everything for the Tepe case. So that's just my opinion. That's not a fact. We shall see. But going back to Brina, Knauss, and Amanda Ungaro. So Brina Knauss is allegedly 40. Melania Knauss, we'll call her by her maiden name, is 55. So if this is her child, she would have been 15 when she had her. Interesting, because I think Amanda Ungaro is about 40 also, maybe 41. And you know who else is that same age range is Erica Kirk. So I don't know. I just think it's an interesting coincidence that those three are right in the same age range. But Amanda Ungaro has a son with Paolo Zampoli, the man who is in the Trump administration as some kind of ambassador of whatever. Sorry for the dog scratching at the door. And Amanda is still currently deported into Brazil. She had been making those comments, those threatening comments on Instagram like 11 days ago. It was the 8th of this month of April, and now it's the 19th, when she was essentially threatening Melania that she was going to go public with some very unflattering truths about Melania. And I don't think she's done that yet. I'm kind of fuzzy. Like, I've been keeping a close eye to see when she interviews. And I think that she's done a couple of interviews, but she doesn't really speak English. So they're like subtitled. I don't know that she's done like the CNN interview that she was supposed to do last Monday. If she's done it, I haven't been able to find it. Do you guys know anything about that? DV is rampant in this country. Well, it's even worse in Brazil, right? Like, that's where women have no rights, none. It crosses all boundaries, rich or poor. Most people are touched by it in some way. Absolutely. Excuse me while I drink my delicious tea. It's so good. I used to always drink tea, and I haven't been for a while. I just drink my water usually instead. So, yeah, I was going to look up the interview situation with Amanda Ungaro. So I try to stay on top of it, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, if you thought that the first lady was attractive, Amanda like puts her under the table. Amanda Ungaro interview. So yeah, I don't think that she's done the interview yet. I mean, my guess is that she's been highly threatened, right? Um, why haven't we heard from our elected officials who've pushed so hard for transparency with the e-files? The newsroom just posted the Amanda Ungaro interview. I don't believe that. That's from a day ago. Rides with Dad Coaching channel. Well, let's see. Should I just play it? Let's see if I can.
If you didn't hear, Courier dropped the interview with Amanda Ungaro. After 20 years around Melania and Trump, she's saying that she witnessed compromising Epstein interactions. She's totally willing to testify before the powers that be. But I just can't shake the strangest part of all of this. Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna have pushed really, really hard for Epstein transparency. So if insider voices surface now, what's the holdup? There's no way we can just pay attention to what people say, but I think it's even more powerful when we recognize what they don't say. Don't you? Has anyone heard Massey or Ro Khanna say anything about Amanda Ungaro, or maybe even her Zambroni guy or whatever his name is, and how they're all involved in this? Because if you don't think that this is a big deal in the whole entire situation, I think there's a lot of people that are going to question whether you're really serious about this. So I'm asking you, do you think this hesitation's strategic, or is their silence the real signal? Tell me what you're noticing in the comments. I'm going to check them all out here in just a second.
All right. Well, that's why it's not good to just play stuff without having listened to it first myself, right? I mean, he might have a valid point, but that's not my perspective at all. I thought he was going to be talking about some totally different stuff. What did I think he was going to be talking about? I thought he was going to be talking about the interview. But yeah, there's a 3 or 4 minute interview of her that I think is just a few days old. It's not like that earth shattering, and I would play it for you, but the one that I saw was subtitled because it was in her native tongue. Brazilian, I would guess. Where was it that I saw it? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It was a channel that was new to me. It's called It's No Satire. And it's a 5-minute video, and I am copying the link right now as we speak, and I'm putting it into the description of this live so that if you want to watch this short interview with her, you can. Like I said, it would do no good for me to try to play it for you because it's subtitled. So here I am linking it in the description, And there it is. So if you want to, you can check that out at any point in time. So what else? Stop. Oh my God. Would you shut up? I hate it when it does things on its own. So did you hear the Trumpster fire say that he had never heard of a corner store and he doesn't know what a corner store is? He said this in the last couple of days. I'm thinking, how does a guy who grew up in the Bronx, I know he was rich from the day he was born, but how does a guy who grew up in the Bronx not know what a corner store is? I'm thinking that he probably does or did know what a corner store was, and it's just the dementia, like full blown, that he can't remember having heard of a corner store or what it is. I don't know. It kind of fits with the whole like old-fashioned term groceries. Crazy. And I'm sure you guys have heard about the fake Bible verse from Pulp Fiction that Keg's Breath recited at one of his Christian nationalist events. His Samuel S. Jackson Pulp Fiction fake Bible verse. That's out of control. I mean, obviously he got it from the movie because it doesn't exist outside of the movie. So he thought he was being all bad-assery like Samuel Jackson. In the movie, Samuel Jackson recites it before he like smokes a guy point blank in the face. And that's what our defense secretary is putting out there at like a church service. OMG. That is so freaking crazy. So in the Ashley Smith Flynn case, there are 172 witnesses listed to testify against Caleb Flynn. 172 witnesses. And that jury trial is set to start May 4th. So that is just 2 weeks and a couple of days from now. And did I do something? Make sure I didn't screw up my chat just with my whatever it was I clicked. So we have a hearing for that coming up this Thursday. The one that was supposed to be this last Thursday got reset for this next Thursday. And I'm just wondering what he's got up his sleeve. The way he was smirking in court last week, the way he had that like cocky smile when he came in, I just think he's up to something. I don't know. That was really weird. That was really, really weird. So I have a question for you guys. Why in God's name would you redact a name out of an email? This is talking about the Trumpstein files. An email about beef jerky. Why would you redact a name out of that? Like, does that make any sense at all? There's hundreds of emails about beef jerky in the Trumpstein files. Of those hundreds of emails, the names of who the emails are to and from are redacted. If it's just about beef jerky, that wouldn't make sense at all, would it? Not at all. So a few days ago, the president said the victims or whatever, talking about the Trumpstein survivors, the victims, or whatever. I'm really glad I'm not the only person who caught that, was irritated by that, and is talking about that. I've noticed a handful of people talking about that. Even, I think, even a Lego video, you guys, even a Lego video spotted and talked about the victims or whatever. And then he said that they don't want to go under oath, implying that they're freaking liars. That piece of crap. And it's complete fabricated bullcrap. But the thing is he's the president. He has a lot of authority. So when he says that, a lot of people believe him. Let me see if we can find this Lego video about the Epstein victims or whatever. And it's one that's really new. So let me see. Lego video about Trump calling I don't know that's going to come up because it's really new. It's just like from over the weekend. And I know it's in my Lego video watching history. I wanted to play it for you if I can because it was a great one. I think I can. Search watch history Lego. Oh, this was a good one. Here, let's watch a couple of these. We got the Pete Hegseth about the Samuel Jackson. We got the Cash Patel passed out drunk. The Erica Kirk embarrassing herself on stage. This war is gonna be won by Lego videos. I kid you not. Let's see. Should we do the Melania Trump Epstein drama witness speaks out? Yeah, I think we should do that one first.
A witness just gave a full interview to journalists Nina Burley and Katie Chenoweth. The First Lady's approval rating hit historic lows according to CNN polling data. Amanda Ungaro is speaking from Brazil after being deported. And the Epstein story is back in the headlines. All claims are attributed, all denials are included. Here's what happened. A witness spoke and journalists published the interview. Approval ratings hit the floor. Historic lows in full review. Ungaro said she's willing to testify before the oversight committee. The Epstein story's back again. Every claim attributed in this city. Journalist Nina Burley and Katie Chenoweth published a new interview with Amanda Ungaro, a former model from Brazil, now in public view. Ungaro answered questions via messaging platform from where she resides. After being deported from the United States, both sides provide their side. She claims she first had contact with Paolo Zampali around age 15. Zampali disputes some of these characterizations of what that relationship would mean. Zampali founded a modeling agency called ID. Models based in New York, he recruited recruited young women from Eastern Europe and Brazil for modeling work. He is credited as the man who introduced Melania Knauss to Donald Trump at a New York Fashion Week event in 1998. That connection is the jump. Sam Polly currently holds the title of Special Envoy for Global Partnerships, a diplomatic role in the current Trump administration. That's the relationship. Ungaro and Zampali were in a relationship for approximately 20 years. They share a teenage son and attended both Trump inaugurations as peers. She told the journalist that Melania knows what she claims to have. Witness says she saw what she describes as highly compromising interactions. Her words are listed. Ungaro states she is willing to testify before the House Oversight Committee. That is her stated position as reported in the published interview. Specifically, Sam Polly denies all allegations and says accusations against it are fabricated. He is posted publicly that he is being harassed. That denial is clearly stated. Melania gave a surprise statement from the White House the week before, denied any meaningful connection to Epstein or Maxwell, and called reports false at the core. The time in the line with Ungaro's public posts on social media that same day. But whether Melania was directly responding to Ungaro has not been confirmed either way. A witness spoke, and journalists published the interview. Approval ratings hit the floor. Historic lows in full review. Ungaro says she's willing to testify before the Oversight Committee. The Epstein story's back again. Every claim attributed in the city. CNN senior data analyst Terry Hinton presented favorability numbers on air. Melania's net favorability dropped to -12, the lowest for a first lady to compare at this point in the presidency. No modern first lady has polled this low on record. Michelle Obama stood at +42, Laura Bush at +46, both way above the standard. Hillary Clinton was at +25, Nancy Reagan at +50 on the chart. Even Jill Biden measured during the first term was above water from the start. It called the numbers absolutely awful and historically unprecedented on the segment. Said she's breaking records in the way you don't want to break them. That's what he meant. Amazon spent an estimated $40 million on rights and $35 million marketing. The film combined theatrical box office, domestic and international, fell in the low to mid-teens. Looking grim, Hinton said a lot of people saw the documentary. This political, even if unintended. The financial data paired with the polling data shows a public image that is descendant. Ungaro told Brazilian outlet O Globo she flew on Epstein's plane around age 16 or 17 from Paris to New York with the agent Jean-Luc Brunel. She described young women on the scene. She said she...
I'm going to pause it for just a second. Hey, Billy, darling, how are you? Happy Sunday. How did you not know we were live? If you want to be added to my list of people that I text, Billy, just email me at JusticeAtooZ, JusticeAtooZ @gmail.com, and I can text you when I'm going live. How are you? So yeah, I'm just going to play the last minute of this song here about Amanda Ungaro and Melania. This Lego song, these Lego videos, man, I love them. Don't you?
She never saw Epstein again after that single reported flight. But a 2-decade relationship kept her in the Trump orbit type. The New York Times reported that Zampali contacted the senior ICE official last June during the custody dispute over their son. That's the reporting from the newsroom. Zampali denies requesting any intervention. DHS denies political motivation in the case. Ungaro was detained on expired visa and fraud charges. Those are the facts in place. Epstein survived. Muskogee, Georgia, responded publicly after Trump spoke on the tarmac. Trump referred to the survivors as the victims, or whatever, who refused to testify. She pushed back. The judge says she attended a private meeting with Congress the previous September. She stated publicly she is willing to testify under oath. Wants the public to remember. Trump said fake news provoked Melania's statement. Sam Polly backed the denial on the same day. Every side has spoken.
Yeah, that's the one that I was actually looking for because he acknowledged the thing about when the president called them the victims or whatever and said that they didn't want to testify under oath. I think I'm going to need to put some more wax on while I'm talking in order to keep talking because, man, it is chewing up my lip. Let's see, one sec while I do that. How are you, Billy, darling? Sorry about that. So much better, but it takes a while to get it into place. How did I not know you were live? Let's see. Did I miss some of your comments? Anna Bees, you had all these great comments. Sorry that I hadn't read them out loud yet. Anna Bees says, DV is rampant in this country, crosses all boundaries. Okay, we read that one. And then I would think so. She's probably in hiding, talking about Amanda Ungaro. It was clickbait, that stupid video that I watched. So like all the freaking videos are clickbait. That's why I try to be so careful about what I watch. I mean, even some of the channels that I really like, Midas Touch, Jack Cocchiarella, they're terrible with the clickbait. Absolutely awful. And it's supposed to not be allowed on YouTube. Like it's not enforced at all. And I wish it were. He's crazy. Keg's Breath is an idiot, isn't he? He's so stupid. And now with Cash Patel, man, he's in the hot seat. It's shocking, isn't it, that he's been a raging drunk this whole time? Who would have guessed? Such an idiot. It doesn't make sense, the things they redacted in the files. Right. It also doesn't make sense to take down the beef jerky emails after you put them up, unless, of course, it's not beef jerky. I hadn't heard that he said that. It was very disrespectful and implying that the survivors are lying is heinous. And it's just going to bite him on the ass. So, you know, whenever he does something like that that's so atrocious, and I get so frustrated and I'm so disgusted, I have to remind myself, good, like keep it up, MF, because it's not gonna work out well for you. You know, just keep doing you do you, boo, and we'll see how it goes. You know, how's it working out for you so far? So it's lovely to see you, Billy, darling. And I am doing pretty good other than these damn braces. I had to take out a couple of the wires the other day. I had to get in there with tools. They were like literally like poking straight out pieces of metal. And I called the orthodontist, but they said that I'm fine having taken them out so that they don't stab me in the face. And they'll fix them at my next visit, which is like 12 days away from now, I think. Actually, no, it's like 10 days from now. I think it's early next week. It's like Monday or something next week. So the good news is I don't have to wear the rubber bands because the little hooks that I put the rubber bands on broke. So I'm happy about that. But get this all smoothed out and then I can keep up with what you guys are saying in the chat here. I've been sleeping a lot lately. Sleep is good. I'm glad, Anna Bees. We all need our beauty rest, don't we? I think because the solar activity. What's going on with the sun? Anna, yes, so sleepy. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, so sleepy. I don't know. I had no idea that there's some kind of solar activity. Tell me. Been sleepy and emo. That's funny. Emo. Scientists disappearing in droves, just like in the 80s. Yeah, that is some freaky ass crap. All of these nuclear scientists. And then the president said, I don't know, could just be a coincidence. We'll have to look into that. Whenever he says we'll have to look into that, you know he's behind it, in my opinion. It's a big tell. But I am seriously looking into programs about forensic linguistics. I've been getting very inspired, like, just knowing when people are lying. I mean, you get some of that training, like law enforcement. My husband's had some training in forensic linguistics, but watching people on YouTube is really cool. Like this Veriscope guy. You guys have watched Veriscope? That Kelly from What's the Obsession turned me on to him, and I love his stuff. I love it. It's very inspiring. He's done a bunch of NK videos. He's done some Madeline Soto case videos. That is like the worst case in the world. I mean, the Watts case is the worst case in the world too, but Madeline Soto is just tragic beyond belief. And again, as is the Watts case, and as is any case of victimization. I mean, it's just awful what people have survived, and awful what people haven't survived. It's just so messed up. That's what Ara was talking about on her live the other night. Thank you, Anna Bees, for reminding me. Ara was talking about a lot of good stuff, and yeah, that was one of the things that she mentioned. I just love hearing Ara rant because she's just so down to earth and authentic. That's what I look for in YouTubers, and I feel like it's kind of hard to come by, in my opinion. Increased solar storms and emissions causing havoc on Earth. Well, is it organic, or could it be interference with like scientific crap? Like that would be awful, huh? Apparently, the geophysicist. Is it related, Billy? Is the solar storms related to the scientists that have gone missing or showed up deceased? What do you think? About a week ago, there was something going to hit the sun. Right. When I heard about that, it was like something that was going to like destroy our planet or something. Again, is it organic, or is it some kind of government experiment? Seriously. And if it had hit the right spot, we would have been goners. Isn't that crazy? All because of the Trumpstein files. I've been saying that for 6 months, that this man would sooner blow up the entire planet than face the accountability for his actions. I shit you not, man. Solar storms related to my emo and naps. I think there's been a lot of solar flares lately. Like why we want to circle the moon for why is it so hard to see that? Let me see. Did my brightness turned up too much? Is it this light here that kind of makes my eyes get bleary? It's been 90 minutes. That's part of it too. Now I can't see it all. Hold on. Sorry. I made it less bright, so now I can't see it. Let me try it again. Been wondering that too, Billy. Like why we went to circle the moon for I just can't see what it says after circle the moon for something like why. Is that 9? Oh, 9 billion. Okay, gotcha. Like why we want to circle the moon for 9 billion. Like why? Oh, $9 billion. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are suspicious about that whole moon thing. And I mean, I think we need to be suspicious of everything with our government right now. These people appointed to these positions are absolute hacks. It became abundantly clear to me a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think I've talked about this on my channel, that a lot of these MAGA people in our government have got to be substance abusers, or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Like Janine, what's her name? Janine, I was going to say Shapiro, but that's not her name. What is it? Some, the box of wine lady, the judge. Let's see. Box of wine lady, Judge Janine. Google knows what I'm talking about. Judge Box of Wine is a nickname often associated with Fox News personality and former prosecutor Judge Janine Pirro. I told you Google would know who I meant when I said Box of Wine lady. So yeah, Box of Wine lady, Keg's Breath, Patel. I think that our president is abusing pills at the very least. People have talked about him and Adderall for years, but I think it's that whole like that white powder stuff. I think that has a lot to blame. They talk about Cash Patel with the alcohol, but you really think Cash Patel's not doing blow too? I mean, same thing with Keg's Breath. I mean, these people, that's probably what most of them are doing. But who knows? I mean, the whole thing with ketamine and all of the tech bros and their ketamine crap. I put mascara on today, which I don't usually, and maybe that's what's bothering my eyes and why I can't see so well, because I got this crap on my eyelashes. I don't usually wear mascara. I don't have anything against it for other people. I don't mess around with makeup too much. Let's see. B for billion. Yes, thank you. Yeah, space and nuke and UFO scientists knowing about space stuff. Well, and the whole thing with nuclear testing happens, I think most of the nuclear testing happens in New Mexico. And it's interesting that right now there's a lot of attention on Zorro Ranch, which is in New Mexico too. I don't know. And I always go back to a year ago when Gene Hackman had that weird rat murder in New Mexico. I still don't buy that crap. Are we coming up on a 1-year anniversary for Gene Hackman? Oh, we passed it. It was February 18th, 2025. So 2 months ago. Yeah, 14 months ago now. And this week, in 6 days, is the 1-year anniversary of Virginia Giuffre and her bizarre passing. I've talked about it on my channel a couple of times, but you guys know that Gene Hackman and the president had a huge beef going all the way back to like the 70s. And he's talked about him a little bit. When he says these horrible things, like what he said about Rob Reiner, what he said about Robert Mueller, it's almost like he's hiding in plain sight with being so like in your face with his disdain for these people right after they've passed away. It's almost like he's telling on himself, but hiding in plain sight. I don't know. I mean, I think he's such a vile individual, and he's on this retribution tour, this revenge tour. February 11th was what? Not even 4 weeks after the inauguration, when Gene Hackman and his wife. I mean, that whole story was so bizarre. It made no sense. It made no sense. And, just what an undistinguished way to go. You guys watch the, I've Had It Bitches, right? They used to say titty baby a lot. Lately, they've been using another term that I had not heard before. Maybe I should spell it for you rather than say it. It's RATFUCKING. You guys have heard of that? Wikipedia says it's an American slang term for behind-the-scenes covert political sabotage or dirty tricks, particularly pertaining to elections. It was brought to public attention by Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein in All the President's Men, 1974, the book that chronicled their investigative reporting of the Watergate scandal. That's funny because I've been intending to see that movie lately, All the President's Men. I don't know that I've ever seen it. And that's where that term comes from. But when you think about that term and then the story of Gene Hackman's wife passing away from the rat poop virus. What is the name of that? I had it in my mind a second ago. Now I forget. Hantavirus, pulmonary syndrome, causes severe, often fatal lung and heart issues, including inhaling airborne dust by dry feces is the main transmission method. So gross. So space nukes. I think we really went, I don't believe it was faked. Right, but why did they do it on April Fool's Day? Isn't that when they launched? Let's see. Most recent lunar launch. Well, it just says early April. But wasn't it April Fool's Day that they launched? Yeah. Lifted off from the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center on April 1st, 2026 at 6:35 p.m. The mission was historic as the first crewed flight to the vicinity of the moon in over 50 years since the Apollo program ended in 1972. 10-day crew lunar flyby. So April 1st, April 10th. Let's see. Just like the Reagan era of Star Wars. Yeah, I had on my first car that I bought when I was 18, I had a bumper sticker that said "Peace in Space, no Star Wars." That lady is a joke. Janine Pirro. Oh my God, she's hilarious. Like, I was going to say not funny, but she is funny, just not in the right way, huh? Let's see. During that time of Reagan, all the same type of scientists started dropping like flies. Really, Billy? I love that you know so much. Box of wine. Yeah. I'm going to have to wrap up. Like, my eyes are so bleary. I should not be wearing this damn mascara. Sorry about that. Interesting, Billy. Now that you say that, I remember that. They all on too many drugs for sure. Well, and I mean, they're drunk on power as well, completely power drunk. It is the mascara. It is the mascara. Let's see. It made sense to me because I've taken care of dementia patients. But it is suspicious that no staff came around for long enough for him to pass. Right, Anna Bees. And I've been thinking more about that with Gene Hackman and his wife, that maybe that was like part of the torture, was to have her be not alive and let him languish in the house with her body, like as his torture. Maybe that was like the plan, to really F him up bad, to have Alzheimer's and to have your caretaker be deceased, and then to like not know, like, to call 911 or how to do anything. I mean, what was his cause of death? It wasn't like starving to death or falling, was it? I mean, I think he was starving and he did fall, but I think that he had like organ failure. I can look it up, but let me catch up with everything you guys are saying. April Fool's Day for original in 1969, and this lunar launch too. Just weird mind effery. Are you serious? When they did Apollo was April Fool's Day? The date that Apollo was launched. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, this is July 16th, 1969. But did something happen on... What happened on April Fool's Day, 1969? I don't know. Okay, so what was the other thing I was going to look up? Oh, what did Gene Hackman's cause of death? Gene Hackman's cause of death. According to the final autopsy, he died of natural causes, with the primary cause listed as hypertensive and I can't say this word. I'm sure you know it, you guys. Atherosclerotic. 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 Cardiovascular disease. Advanced Alzheimer's disease was a significant contributing factor. He was found on February 26th in his Santa Fe home, likely having passed away around February 18th, following his wife, Betsy, who died from hantavirus. So key details regarding his death: cause was severe heart disease, congestive heart failure, previous aortic valve replacement, and a pacemaker installed in 2019. Contributing factors: advanced Alzheimer's, timeline, circumstances. He was found with low acetone concentration, indicating prolonged fasting, not eating for a long period. And his wife died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare disease carried by rodents. But see, I think she would have gone to the doctor. And yeah, it also doesn't make sense that nobody checked on them for so long, because rich people have a full staff that come around every day. Like, they had maids. Like, where were the maids? It just doesn't make sense. It's bull crap. Let's see. It is very sus. Yes, it was on 4/1. Anna B says April Fool's Day for original 1969. They'll have us celebrate holidays for reasons. I'm just not believing that either one was faked. Call me a fool. I do not think you're a fool. I do not like to think I'd like to think I'm not a fool, but yet I'm so dumb sometimes. LOL. Aren't we all? It's okay. We accept ourselves where it's not, right? I mean, sometimes we're smart, so there's that. You definitely are not a fool, Billy. I don't feel comfy outside my house like outside. Maybe tomorrow I'll try for a walk. Yeah, I went for a nice walk today. I love going for a nice walk when it's nice out. I just like the fresh air. I really like fresh air. Sun is too bright, Anna. The sun is very bright. I hardly see it. I know I have to have like my baseball cap and my sunglasses. I can't with the sun. And even a baseball cap isn't good enough for when it's really sunny. I just don't go outside when it's really sunny, or I need like a wide brim sun hat like an old lady, or a sunbrella. I do the sunbrellas, and I always do like a long sleeve light button down shirt if I'm outside during the sunny part of the day. I'm totally covered, but I just feel like I can't cover myself enough. But yeah, I definitely recommend a walk. It's so good to be able to walk. I'm so grateful to be able to walk. I mean, I just like being healthy, whether I'm walking, swimming, doing yoga, whatever it is, biking, hiking. I'm too old to run or play soccer or volleyball like I used to. I really enjoyed doing those things until my early 40s. And then I was like, I'm just too old for these things. Screw it. The knees just can't take it. It's just not good. I feel vulnerable outside sometimes, but for different reasons. I keep my birth certificate and marriage certificate on me. Oh, Anna Bees, I am so sorry. That sucks. But yeah, I'd say that that's wise too. I mean, I think we're all vulnerable in that sense. But yeah, that just really sucks. I mean, I try to be extremely safe, and I've always got safety at the top of mind. Always, always. I hate that for you, Anna, sweetheart. I hate it. I know, it freaking sucks. But man, you just can't be too careful with all this ice crap going on. I mean, women in general, get victimized with attacks, but then the whole ice thing is just a whole nother level of bullshit. That is awful. I know it sucks, but maybe someday this will be over. I think so. I think the ice crap is going to end soon. I do. I'm very hopeful. I think this whole tyranny is going to end soon, but I try to not count my chickens before they hatch too, because it's a really dangerous time. Did you see where Letitia Staunch is getting a new trial? I did, and it freaking sucks for a lot of reasons. She's a disgusting monster, and that poor kid Gannon Stouch, was he 12 years old, getting put in a suitcase like that? And then all that stuff with Zav Girl getting lambasted when Elise, whatever her name is, Annie Elise, she did the same thing that Zav Girl did. And Zav got trashed, but Annie Elise didn't. And Annie Elise is like heterosexual, and Zav is woman identified. And I just think that that was really effed up. Like, if they're going to treat Zav like that on national television, then they should do the same thing to Annie Elise. But Annie Elise came out squeaky clean, and I'm sure that that really messed with Zav, with her psychologically, as well as the success of her channel. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with putting the photos up on social media, but like I said, Annie Elise did it too, and she didn't get trashed for it at all. She went under the radar, and I just think that's ridiculous. I just think it's terrible. And I think Zav's done a lot of good work, and that was not my thing at all. I don't think she handled it well when she was criticized, and she said, well, I just wanted to have it for like scientific purposes. Like, that was an awkward way to go about stating it. I think that putting that stuff out in the public eye so people can see how disgusting child abuse is, that I think is worthwhile. Like, people need to understand that there are child abusers like this everywhere. Letitia Stouch, or however you say her name, unfortunately, she's not that unique. I mean, look at what my father tried to do. Look at what this MF did this morning in Louisiana with these 7 kids. There's a lot of people who treat children like that. There's a lot of people who victimize women. I think it's important for people to know the ugly truth. So I would think that the situation with Letitia Stouch is just bringing all that up for everybody. But, this poor little boy lost his life, and I don't know all the details of the case and why it's reopened, but F her. That's all I have to say, is she should just fall off the face of the planet, as far as I'm concerned. Closer every day, I'm hoping. Sometimes outside is too loud with traffic and so many people at the park. Yeah, I like my privacy. I don't like to see people when I'm out walking. I'm really antisocial. If I see people, I feel like they're crashing my party. I am so funny like that. I really like my solitude. Letitia is a monster. Wow, didn't know about that drama. Zav had it behind a paywall, but it wasn't for profit. Yeah, I don't judge Zav for that. I judge the public for lambasting her and leaving Annie Elise out of it. That's my take on it. I just thought it was effed up. Like, if you're going to do that to Zav, do that to Annie Elise. That's ridiculous. Oh, right. That stuff, not fair. Right. Annie Elise is like blonde and cute, and she's bought and paid for by I don't know who. I mean, she's like mainstream media basically. Like she's not authentic at all. Like she's completely scripted. And she did it. So, and I'm sure other people did it too that went under the radar, right? I mean, because it's like if they're going to release those files with the with the Sunshine Law, with a FOIA, with a records request, if they're going to release the files, then they're public files, and it's legal to put them out there. But it's good to like have common sense too. I mean, and it's just so tragic for a kid losing his life and then to be like literally laid bare in the public eye. It's just so sad. But again, I can see the flip side argument of people having a full awareness of what child abuse is. Horrendous. And I heard somebody from the town in Florida where the suitcase with his remains in it were discovered, and it's like kind of a small town, and she was saying like how that kind of thing has never happened there, because you think of Florida of like a place where a lot of crazy stuff happens, a lot of horrible crimes, and yeah, like in areas like Miami or Tampa, these like massively populated areas, a lot of horrible crimes go down. Orlando, I mean, that was with Casey Anthony and with Madeline Soto. I think they were both in the Orlando area. But this small town in Florida, like it just scarred the whole community. And of course it would. Like even if it was a place like Miami, like a big city area, that would still scar a community. And the way abusers are, like they're just so thoughtless. Like they don't think about anybody except number one, which is really unfortunate because that's the kind of person that we have leading our country right now. And that's just out of control. I should probably wrap up. We're getting close to 2 hours. And I'm trashing DJT, and I'll be going down like Chinatown for that, right? Like how you were talking about not being safe to be outside Annabees. I mean, we're all being surveilled on our social media. And if he doesn't go down, we all will, basically. But, I'm just like live free or die. I'm not going to capitulate to that crap. You want a piece of me, mofo? Seriously. It's disgusting. Let's see. It is important for people to know who these monsters are and what they did. Yeah, that's funny. I'm the same way. Annabelle says introverts unite in their own home and cozy. LOL. Oh, you're the same way about like people crashing your party if you see them when you're out on a walk. I'm like, this is my park, man. Annie Elise has nice legs. That's all I remember. And she's got all those tattoos she likes to show off on her arms. Yeah, Annie Elise should have got the same treatment. Yeah, I don't like her channel because she's so freaking fake. She's so freaking scripted. Like good for her that she's made tons of money and that she's all successful, so to speak. But like, where's the authenticity, man? Where's the creativity? XOX, yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I don't answer my front door even. Billy darling, yeah, I don't think any of us should answer our front door. Seriously. Like, Nobody should be coming to the door. Actually, my friend, my neighbor, came to my door yesterday and was like knocking really loud, and I was like, "Oh my God, somebody's mad at us. What's going on?" But she was just really tired, and she just wanted to make sure we heard her right away and came to the door. So that was funny because I was like, "Holy crap, what's that?" People just don't knock on the door so much these days. People text and they say like, "I'm coming over," or something like that. Like you get a heads up, right? I don't answer mine either. LOL. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Jazz, for another great live. Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I've just been all bleary-eyed and kind of loopy, but I really wanted to come on live because I missed you. So thanks for hanging out. See you soon. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I know I keep saying that. I've been so bad with being inconsistent, and I don't like it one bit. I like being consistent. So I'm going to try really hard to be consistent in the evenings every day this week. Let's shoot for 5 for 5, Monday through Friday. Fingers crossed. So see you on the next one. Drink your water. Be you. Be yourself. Take it easy.